and then I'll go into the software. Um, so, like I said, the constant buzzing is the K5 taking in luminary samples. Where it takes that in from is this little top piece right here, this little black cup. So it's bringing air in through the bottom of it, basically. There's a small gap, and then it expires it from down here. And that's pretty much it. So that's one port, this little black piece. Here you have a little headphone connector, it has a picture of headphones. I'll show you guys how those hook up later. Then you have this guy right here, which is going to be for the optoelectronic reader. Sorry, flow meter. And moving on, you have these three ports. This guy right here is going to be for a heart rate strap adapter. I didn't see that you guys have one, so that means that whatever heart rate strap you have now is already going to be picked up by the K5. This is just like people who want to run a different brand. They have to get an adapter for those brands. So you probably won't use this blue port. Everything is color coded though. So like the green one, let me grab it. The flow meter will have a green tip, and then the flow will have a green port. You have the USB. This one's like a light gray, and then the USB one is a lighter gray. But everything is color coded. You can't really mess it up, I hope. But second one is going to be USB. The cap has a little USB logo. Last one is going to be a power one, and it has a little power symbol. But let me show you how those connect real quick.
Did you find the key?
It should be
In the bottom?
of the box.
Okay, I'll check it out. This is the USB one. So each pin connector has a little symbol. So notice that one has an arrow, that one has a circle. I'll show you guys. It has little symbols on them. Basically all the symbols face the back of the K5. So if you were to place this guy this way, it wouldn't go down. But then if you flip the symbol to the back, it should go straight in. That's really it. The flow one kind of gives you a little hint, so it has a little arrow on the K5, basically just telling you where it should connect. I don't know if the rest don't have that, but that's really it. Just face the symbols to the back of the K5, and you're good to go. These guys do have a little locking mechanism at the bottom. You can't pull them from the top. So like if you were to pull, actually one of my coworkers had a customer who pulled it as hard as they could. I don't know why, but it took off the casing of the K5. So make sure that you grab it from the bottom. So all you do is grab from the metal tip. And I'll pass it around actually. But you can kind of hear it if you move it around. Yeah. This piece, the rubber piece, make sure you grab it from the metal end, and it comes straight off. Have the heart rate strap, and then the power one is this guy right here. So, like I said, it's a darker gray, and then that port is dark gray. Whatever port you're not using, just make sure you cover it up. So these little rubber pieces will go in. And the reasoning is it's supposed to be water resistant, so if you wanted to run it like in rain, you could. It's just not waterproof, so like you can't dunk it in water. Don't have like pressurized water on it either. And really the whole thing is try to avoid water somehow coming up the cap and in, or from the bottom going up. So yeah, you'd have to basically dunk it for water to get in it. So it's water resistant up to like heavy rain, but that's pretty much it. You also you want to avoid any fumes, so like super dusty environment. I had a customer that wanted to do like firefighter training, but you can't have it in smoke because it'll go into the analyzers and then they're probably done. So just try to avoid like smoke or really dusty places. Moving on, I'm going to show you these two larger ports. This guy is going to be for your battery, so it has a little cap right there that you can flip up. The port itself has a lock and unlock symbol. Give me a second. Anyway, it has a lock and an unlock logo. So to open it up, the cap itself has a little arrow pointing at what it's sitting on. So just twist up and pop it off. There's currently a battery in here. You have the battery bars there, but then you have the actual percentage up here as well. So the battery itself sits in the K5. Basically, just look inside the port. One side will have the slots for this guy. It won't go down the other way. So don't press it down super hard because they can bend. Obviously, if it's not like going in and you try it once, it's not going to go in. Just switch the direction. And then on the front side of it, you have a little SD slot. That is what I use to upgrade the firmware. And the firmware upgrades don't happen very often. While I've been at Cosmic, we've only had one. So I don't think you guys will ever really do it for a while. And if you do, we usually send out instructions on how to do it. So that's what the little SD slot is for. And you have a card at the bottom of the K5 box. And now let me go look for the O2 key real quick. I think you guys use a syringe for the foot mixture. I don't see the key. Well, as much as I could, but I don't know what I did. This guy's just the key to open up the O2 sensor port. Just line it up to the pins, and then once again you have a lock and unlock. Just twist that guy, and it sounds like you guys have changed it before, but all you have to do is disconnect those 3 pins, the connector, take out the O2 sensor, put in a new one, and connect the pins. That's really it. And then, whenever you sit this guy in, just make sure that this guy isn't like crunched up. So try to sit it as best as you can. And that's it. Any questions on the top ports? None? Alright. From here, I'm going to go into the tiles of the K5 itself, and then we'll go into the calibrations. The K5, sorry. The K5 only has 4 buttons. You have a power button, hold it down. It'll ask to confirm if you want to turn it off, and then when you're turning it on, you hold it for a few seconds and it'll power on as well. You have a home and a back. Basically, if you're a few tiles in, you could click on either of these and it'll take you back to this home screen. You have, it says check mark, so if you're running the test without the computer and you want to leave a marker, so like if you're out in the field running a test with someone and for some reason you're right next to them the entire test, you can click on one of these buttons if you wanted to drop down a marker, and then once you transfer the data into like a laptop, it would have the marker there and you can input whatever might have happened. So that's what these two are for. And then this guy right here, it's just a record button. Whenever you're running a test, it'll blink blue while it's in like pre-test mode. So right at the beginning of the test, you have like a 2-minute window. It's just taking in information, but it's not actually recording your actual test. So once you press this button, it'll kick it into like your actual protocol if you have a protocol, or just your test data. So it'll blink blue first. You can wait 2 minutes and it'll start its own test, or you can go ahead and click it and it'll start the test whenever you want. So that's what this guy is for. From here, I'm going to go into the tiles itself. I'll go into like the least important stuff, and then I'll go into what you'll use the most. I'll start with